All right, I think we're all set. I think we're good. The orange light is not on my controller, and we're at halftime in Washington, so. But doing pretty good. Can of course hit the general intro in a second, and I just got pinged. Who the fuck pinged me? What? Oh wait, no, that was just the Discord ping. Whoops. I'm gonna say what rat bastard pinged me right now. But welcome to the streets of Las Vegas. This is Viper Eyes. I didn't get pinged that time because I had Discord open. But yeah, welcome to the streets of Las Vegas in the Strip for the final round here of season number 8. Should be a pretty interesting one. Full quality, of course, with 19 drivers on the grid. And we'll, of course, be knocking off 4 drivers in this first round, 5 drivers in the second to get to Q2, and then it'll be a top 10 shootout for Q3. So a lot of time to go here. As, of course, drivers will have a second to all get setups together. But on this, certainly very interesting circuit, it's going to be Zhao leading us out for Williams, at least in a broadcast debut for the Williams driver. Of course, making his way down to this section of Vegas Sphere. And, of course, believe the Williams will be the driver who will be on board with. Ollie Jelly has disconnected, so we'll try to get him back in. One moment. But, of course, we have some time. It's a fairly long lap here around Las Vegas. Minute and 30 seconds. We're going to probably be seeing lap times push into the 131s, depending on what point we get to. But again, should be very interesting. Going to be lots of low downforce. Probably, just a couple of clicks on the front wing. Not much rear, not much, if any, rear wing. Going to be on the cars. I believe we do get 20 cars. That will make it a 5-car cut here in Q1 as we head down the strip. So we'll stay on board with Zhao to take a first run-through of a lap here around Vegas. And again, going to be a very unique circuit here where, I certainly wouldn't warrant to say that it's the most well-designed circuit out there, but certainly very flashy and has a whole bunch of unique aspects. But of course, got the flat final turn here, and you got the run down into the tight left-hander of turn 1. Of course, probably the second best overtaking spot on the circuit. And then you got the fast right to turn 2, which you're going to try to keep as flat as possible, maybe a slight lift to make sure that car grips up nicely into the first DRS zone of the circuit as you blast down into turn 3. And, going to really want to be single file on the exit of turn 3, as we can see Zhao there hitting the wall. As that probably won't be the last time we see that this race. And, of course, you got turn 4 and then this little fiddly section here around Vegas Sphere of turns 5 through 8. And that's really important to get a good exit here coming out into this little back, not a straight, more or less. As I believe it's turn 9 and then into turn 10. You're going to want to miss the apex here to set up for turn 11. Very tight. You got that sausage curve on the inside. And, of course, got to watch out for that wall. But then you come out and on to the strip. Of course, Stratting is out. He has to serve a quali ban from the previous weekend. So that's one Aston Martin already out. So we'll jump on board with Viper Eyes, who I believe will be the first on a competitive lap. He's actually on a set of mediums here early in quali, actually getting a little bit of a tow from the Williams, who will duck out of the way as we come into the final little chicane here. Again, going to really want to get single file. Watch out for that sausage on the inside, but once you get past that first little kink, flat all the way to the line, and of course, going to really want to keep it as tight as possible coming through this final little kink. Viper is going to set the bar at a 132.448. So that's going to be the bar to chase. Here comes a Hasta Linus. Rostamol with a 34.9. Got a couple of cars behind him, but I don't believe anybody on a significant lap for him. LaJona just getting a lap underway. Alcoholic invalidated his lap. Boaks, meanwhile, on a push. The Ferrari making his way down the strip. Of course, DRS is inactive. or ERS rather, is inactive, so perhaps burned a little bit too much early on in that lap. Making his way through that chicane. Gabicho goes second quickest. Of course, there comes Boakes out of that final chicane. And again, that red light's still flashing, so maybe taking an extra lap to get those tires into the window he wants, as he's going to put in a 34.396. So yeah, Boakes there. Not a great lap time as Ollie Jelly disconnected again. Not sure what the issue is there, but certainly going to try to get him back in, if possible, for that V-carb. So we'll see if anybody else is on a lap. Debo, 57.8 through the first two sectors, and that Mercedes looks rather quick coming into those final couple of corners. It looks like he's going to dive into the pits. That's going to be a not super competitive lap time from him. So we'll jump on board with... So Kendricks, of course, does have the Drivers' Championship locked up. So, of course, congratulations to him for that. Doesn't seem that anybody, a lot of drivers getting laps in early. DeChal actually going to go to the top here with a 32.3 on a set of soft compound tires. Speedy Gunner puts his time on the board, 33.0, 33.1 from Formula Jonah. As Rostamol dives into the pit lane. Yeah, Kendricks on a lap, and that's really it. You got Stryker as well, who just started a lap. A bunch of cars, I think, just coming out to start out laps or coming towards the end of their laps, all trying to get, trying to get some stuff together. And again, we'll have to wait and see. I believe that Gabicho going a bit quicker there, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of drivers out on the medium compound of tire. Vipers, Gabicho, Speedy Gunner, Formula Jonah, all opting for mediums and putting in pretty comfortable times as of right now. We'll go ahead and put the leader gap up there so we can see just how much they need to improve by. But it's tight at the top between DeChal and Viperize. We'll jump to Kendricks, see what he's at on his first lap. But of course, in the drop zone right now would be Ollie, Stryker, Strakosaur, and Kendricks. I will try and send Ollie another invite quickly. Sadly, those are just some issues with online games. But Kendricks coming through the final couple of corners and coming towards the end of that lap. Not looking to be a great time from the Season 8 champion. It's a 35.1, but of course I think he's setting up to take another run at things. Stryker goes third quickest for Kick Sauber. So a comfortable lap time from him. Speedy Gunner going to dive into the pits. Here comes the Aston Martin of Viperize to the line, and he'll go top. So he's picking up time as he continues to work those medium tires in. 32.0 for the Irishman. DeChal, meanwhile, down early. He's actually going to cross the pit lane there. Of course, won't penalize that just since he's getting out of the way. Here comes Gabicho to the line, though. Up through the first two sectors and crosses the line. He'll go third quickest. Improves by about 4/10. So I think just trying to do everything he can to get himself into a safer position. As that lap time's certainly going to fall rather quickly here. So again, I don't know if Ollie Jelly got back in. I do see him as back on F124. I'll send him an extra invite just to be safe, if he is not already back in. Here comes Yiggett, though, to the line. Going to tuck in behind that Red Bull. He's going to go 7th quickest. So, again, puts a time on the board. And that was Alcoholic ahead of him, just getting a lap underway. Zhao, meanwhile, on a lap. Ollie Jelly has rejoined. And, again, still has some time to get that extra lap in. But Viperize, currently provisional pole. Doesn't seem that anybody improving. Speedy Gunner is going to go out on a set of mediums. Kendricks goes 4th quickest. So again, just trying to make sure that he is safe. Debo, purple through sector 1. So the Mercedes pushing rather comfortably, as is the Red Bull of Alcoholic. Zhao, though, coming to the line to end his first proper lap. It's a 34.7. So, again, just puts him 10th, which is, again, just out of the drop zone. So it's good to have that lap time on the board. But almost certainly he's going to have to improve if he wants to move on. So I believe Alcoholic... actually, no, Strachosaur will be next to cross the line, so we'll jump to him. There's a Ferrari coming up behind him. Strachosaur, 6th quickest. I believe that's the Ferrari of Nico Rosberg coming to the line. Zhao got no end plate, does he? I don't know. I can't say for sure. I did see Gabby Cho has disconnected as well. So provisional P4 has disconnected. So Stratting needs to get him, if you'll allow me a second. But currently in the drop zone, Nico Rosberg, M. Requiem, Seiyao, Ollie Jelly, who of course has been able to rejoin, as Alcoholic actually 3rd quickest as it stands. Does have the McLaren of Yigit right behind him, as he'll actually go deep and stay out of the way here at Vegas Sphere. As Viperize has also left the session, so lots and lots of connection issues early on here. So let's see what happens here. But Nico Rosberg looking to get a time on the board. Can he jump? Of course, Stratting will be in the drop zone almost certainly no matter what. As here he comes to the line, he'll go 9th quickest. As there is Viperize back. As Rosberg 9th quickest. As he just kind of went straight through at the final corner there. Speedy Gunner up about a quarter of a second. So again, just trying to push himself further to safety. So we'll jump to Ollie. And we'll stay on board with him as he continues through this lap. Of course, coming into the braking zone here at the end of Sector 1. Does a nice job to keep it out of the wall. 26.4 through Sector 1. Again, about 6.5 minutes left to go in the session here. And that top 10 is still pretty tight. Vegas, definitely a challenging track to get everything right, just because there's a whole bunch of really finicky portions of this racetrack. Of course, you have either end of the strip that are very challenging to get right consistently. You got the little section around Vegas Sphere at the start of Sector 2, which is very slow and very tight and can be really hard. And you got like Turn 3 as well, which is really easy just to bleed out a little bit and into that wall. Ollie Jelly, though, doing a nice job keeping it very tight to the wall, coming back out onto the strip. DRS going to be wide open. And of course, hard braking. Got to get all the way down to 3rd gear. Want to try to take maybe a little bit of curb there, but not enough to fully unsettle the car. Good exit, though, from Ollie. There's 5.5 minutes left to go. He's going to come around the final corner and to the line. Again, going to want to keep it really tight. Take that shortest line there. 32.4 for Ollie Jelly. So he puts himself up with his teammate of Dechal and into safety. Seiyao now will be the driver to watch as he's at the bottom of the order. It also puts Rastamol down into the bottom group. Seiyao out of the final corner. And he'll go 14th quickest. Gabby Cho, of course, has rejoined. He's still in 5th. So that's good, but that pushes Zhao now into the bottom 5. It puts Boaks on the chopping block. M. Requiem, of course, not a lap time on the board yet from the Williams. So let's see how that continues. But Rostamol and Zhao out on the lap. Boaks out on the lap, but he's down, perhaps taking an extra warm-up lap. And, of course, Seiyao certainly not out of danger, as is Yigit. You really got to be inside of a second to, really consider being safe at this point in the session. But again, provisional pole sitter is still Viperize, or provisional winner of Q1. And Viperize, must not think that he's safe or think that he can push that car a little bit further. He's out for another lap. I think that 32.0 will almost certainly be enough for safety. And I'd be surprised to see a number of drivers out, but perhaps with Viperize, it's more a matter of trying to get more and more accustomed with this circuit. Rostamol, though, on a push. Zhao is up ahead of him. We'll Sayao, of course, is going to be on an in lap. We'll have a little bit of time to potentially get another lap in. Nico Rosberg in the Ferrari goes 8th quickest. We got a couple drivers still out. Stratting, of course, is a guaranteed out at this point. But can Sayao potentially join him in safety? Zhao up 3/10 through Sector 1. Coming to the end of Sector 2 here. Again, just trying to get that clean exit. He does. Controls that Williams very nicely, and he's up 1.4 seconds. So he's flying here. He's looking to jump ahead of Yigit. And if he can put a good enough lap together, perhaps ahead of Jonah or Speedy and up into the top 10, who also don't think that they are necessarily safe either. With under 3 minutes to go here in Q1, Zhao into the braking zone at the end of the strip. Pretty well off of that curb, but able to set up, get himself a nice exit. Ollie Jelly going to retire from the session. He does not believe he will improve or has any need to improve. Zhao to the line. Can he jump up into safety? He'll only jump up into 15th, so lost a lot of time on the strip there. And into safety, but not by much. Rostamol was up 4/10. He's diving into the pits. So Rostamol going to be in big danger here of being dropped in Q1. M. Requiem now on an out lap, as is Boaks. Zhao, of course, we just saw get the lap in. Sayao, as well, is not yet out. So it's going to be very tight for some of these drivers in the drop zone. Again, the drop is below P15 here. So as of right now, Zhao would be safe. And it would be Boaks, Rostamol, LSR Stratting, and M. Requiem getting the axe here in Q1. Yigit, meanwhile, matching his time through that first sector. It's about, actually, no, he's down about 1.2 tenths as he makes his way through the sphere section. Of course, trying to make sure he's safe. Jonah up a lot through those first two sectors. He's actually going to jump up into provisional P2. Only 2 tenths adrift of Viperize, who's going to come to the line and push that bar even further. It's a 31.6 from the Aston Martin, as he looks to make that bar even harder to climb. But he is certainly safe. Speedy is up. Strakasaur matching his time on his previous lap. But we're probably looking at the final laps of the session. Speedy Gunner to the line. He's P12. He'll jump up into P2, so he'll jump up ahead of Speedy Gunner and confirm that he is safe. Zhao going to dive into the pits. So Zhao going to be putting it on Boaks or M. Requiem to try and hope that one of them does not improve. Under a minute left to go. We'll stay on board with M. Requiem, and I'll get Ozan in just a second. But M. Requiem making his way down the strip will jump to Boaks shortly after, as Boaks will get an extra lap in and be another driver to try and surpass Zhao, and maybe even Sayao to make it into Q2. Sayao, of course, I think Sayao will get a lap in, as under 30 seconds left to go now. So we're probably looking at final laps from all these drivers. It's going to be M. Requiem first to get a final lap in. So here he comes out of the final corner. And it's not going to be a great time from Requiem. That's going to be 18th, so that's going to be M. Requiem out in Q1. Boaks now is going to be the driver to watch. Can he jump ahead of Zhao? And of course, that would mean the likes of Sayao. That means Sayao is now safe, confirmed as Zhao, unable to get an extra lap in. Boaks up a little bit through 2 sectors, up just about a tenth. So here comes out onto the strip now. Set of mediums for the Ferrari. So potentially looking to just hold on to grip a little bit longer, perhaps struggling with a little bit of overheating on his lap. So here comes Boaks down to the end of the strip. Through that final chicane. Good exit there. Keeps it out of the wall. Here comes the Ferrari to the line. Will it be Zhao or will it be Boaks? Moving on to Q2. Yes, you can participate in Q2 if you retire. Here comes Boaks. Boaks will be safe. It'll be Zhao going out in Q1. So it's going to be the 4 drivers out are Zhao, Rostamol, M. Requiem, and LSR Stratting. Viperize is first in Q1 by about half a second. And now, of course, I will get Ozan in. There we go. But yeah, it'll be, Viperize in. It's going to be Stratting, M. Requiem, Rostamol, and Zhao all out in Q1. Of course, we're waiting on Yiget and Gabicho to come around and finish the lap. But yes, if you manually retire from the session, you should still be able to participate in the remaining qualifying sessions. Yeah, Viperize, very comfortable as it stands, and I think a clear favorite for pole position in today's race. Of course, Stratting having to serve a quality ban. Gabicho actually has disconnected as well. So, Stratting, you're going to have to re-invite Gabicho again. Yeah, it's soft tire time from Viperize. That puts him in front of the field. And we'll move on to 15 drivers remaining for Q2. But yeah, Jal, Rostamol, M. Requiem, LSR Stratting out in Q1. Ah, shit. Did the Commander score another touchdown? Shit. Oh, wait, what? We're on to 15 now in Q2. 15 minutes on the clock. Ozan, you might actually be out because of the lobby. Viperize going out on a used set to start. Actually, I will put tires on as well, so that way we can see who all has used the tire set. But yeah, Ozan, I believe you may be out of this race because I don't know who Verstappen is or how he joined. But there is, I believe, already a 15th driver in the lobby. And actually, it does not tell me that those tires are used when I select tire, so that's great. But we'll at least be able to see, what tires everybody is on, all 15 going to be setting up here in Q2. Verstappen is Talkin. Why is... Okay. So, I believe that does screw you over then, because I believe he got that last... he'll get that last spot in the race. Unless he leaves. So, if he isn't a party with you, tell him to leave. So, because he needs to go. Because, otherwise you won't get a spot. But we'll get set up here in Q2. We'll jump on board with Alcoholic. He'll be the first to get a lap time in on the board. We do have 11 drivers currently out on track. So, actually, no, we do have 11 drivers out on track as it stands. So, very busy circuit. And the first driver getting a lap in will be the Red Bull of Alcoholic. Of course, looking fairly comfortable through turns 1 and 2 there. A little bit wide there through turn 1, but of course going to keep it tight and try and keep it as flat to the floor. There through turn 2, rear wing, going to open up. He may have the 2 Alpines towards the end of the lap cause problems for him. Of course, coming into the sphere section now, I forgot to put lap data on. So we'll do that. Little lock up, but otherwise keeping it tight through those chicanes. So actually, can I can't because... Okay, never mind. I can't do that because it only shows those drivers currently in the session. But Alcoholic making his way through, through that little kink left and on to the back straight. 56.3, I believe, from him. Viperize, meanwhile, 56.2. So Alcoholic seemingly taking the fight to Viperize, at least on a similar set of tires. Of course, coming down the strip now, the Red Bull going to be a little bit loose there off of that chicane. And of course, the Aston Martin behind him looking fairly comfortable as well. Just taking a peek down at the mini-map. As Alcoholic setting the bar for Q2, under 11.5 to go, the bar will be set at a 32.365 for Alcoholic. Viperize, though, going to drop that bar immediately to a 32.2. Here comes one of the kick Salvers to the line. That's Striker to the line. Fourth quickest. Speedy goes third. Here comes Formula Joan as the other Salver to the line. And he'll slot in behind both Red Bulls, but ahead of his teammate with a 32.9. We'll jump on board with Debo then. See what the play is going to be from him here. As he comes to the line, keeping it very tight, 32.3, so he'll slot himself between the two Red Bulls, and at least currently in the fight for P1. Stratting, if you could invite Gabby Cho again, unless I have him, which I don't believe I do. I do not. Yeah, I don't know why you are in here, but Verstappen needs to leave. Yeah, Debo third, Sayout slots into P6. Ollie Jelly, not a great first lap time, but I think just took an extra lap to get those tires into the window he wants. Boak's 8th quickest, Kendrick's 9th quickest, as I think he's as well taking a second warm-up lap. Lots of traffic here down the strip that Dechal is looking to have to navigate. Yeah, a whole bunch of cars stopped up ahead, and Dechal, I think, actually going to get impeded just a little bit, maybe. That Kick Sauber is going to try to dive out of the way, I think, as it will. So I think everybody able to stay roughly out of Dechal's way. As Dechal now to the line, and he'll jump up to the top of the order. It's a 32.1, so potentially got a nice little tow there off the back of those cars ahead. So he'll jump to the top, so we'll jump on board with Ollie, as currently the only driver with a lap time on the board who would be in the drop zone. Of course, looking to push Kendricks down there. He'll come through the final corner now into the line, and he'll go top of the order with a 32.0. So Ollie Jelly makes it at V-Carb 1-2 here in Q2. Kendricks, meanwhile, up 4/10 through 2 sectors. Coming out onto the backstretch now. Of course, it's going to be hard braking here into the chicane at the end of the lap. Viperize has also left the session. So we'll get him back, because I know that I scroll all the way down for him. And there we go. There goes Kendricks to the line. He'll go 7th quickest. So again, putting himself into a safe area. As, yeah, Viperize kind of struggling here. As again, I did send you that invite again. Nico Rosberg on an out lap. Strakasaur as well on an out lap. As there is Viperize back now. And Strakasaur almost dropping that car on his out lap, but he'll get underway. So, currently it's Boakes, Rosberg, Yiget, Gabicho, and Strakasaur in the drop zone. Striker, of course, would be the next cut. But the track quieting down quite a bit with about half the session left to go. Touchdown, Steelers! Yes! Alright. I can pay attention. Najee Harris into the end zone. So it's a 5-point game there. So very happy, but Kendrick's invalidating that lap there. So he'll have to go again if he thinks he needs to improve. Ollie Jelly, of course, making his way around as well. Yiget's getting going on his first lap of the session, but here comes Strakasaur. Again, going to be interesting to see strategies here. And see who all opts to go back out to get an extra lap in. I cannot... actually, no, they don't have a lap in, so that's why their tires wouldn't be on the board. But I believe it's softs for pretty much for all of these drivers. Gabicho, of course, in the pits. Hopefully, I did see him get back in, I believe, so hopefully he is able to get an extra lap on the board. But Currently both Ferraris, a McLaren, a Haas, and a Mercedes in the drop zone. A Kick Sauber and an Alpine, I believe, are certainly the two most at risk here of getting axed in this session. So jump on board with the three who are on the lap as they cross the line. It's going to be Strakasaur first, and then it'll be Rosberg, and then it'll be Yiggett coming to the line. So here comes Strakasaur first. Of course, currently is 15th. Around the final corner into the line. That lap time good enough for 6, so puts himself pretty comfortably into safe with a 32.5. Rosberg now coming out the final couple corners into the line. Boaks, of course, not being safe, is going to have to come back out. Rosberg to the line. He'll jump up into 9th, so pushes Seau now down into the bottom 5. Yiggett now coming through the final couple of corners now is going to tap the wall on the outside, but no significant damage, it seems. But here comes the McLaren through the final corner now into the line. It's going to be enough to get him into P4. So Yiggett, only 0.2 off of Ollie Jelly's lap time. And they will get a very nice lap on the board. So again, good enough to slot himself into P4, so getting himself into safety. But as Gavicho, Boaks, Stryker, Seau, and Formula Jonah now in the drop zone with Rosberg, Kendricks, Speedy Gunner, and Strakasaur being the drivers at risk. So I'd imagine we'll see the bottom 10 all come out for an extra lap, or at least, I think certainly Strakasaur will try to hustle that Mercedes around and get an extra lap in. We're, of course, already looking at Boaks on an out lap in that Ferrari, trying to get those tires into the right window. But it'll be interesting to see who all else decides to come out. Formula Jonah has made his way out, as has Stryker. So both Kick Sauvers out with under 5 minutes to go in the session. I think just maybe trying to get some clean air this time around. But it will be very interesting to see. As Rosberg actually seemingly going for another push lap. So I think took a recharge lap there. And let's see if the Ferrari can improve at all. It certainly has enough fuel to finish another lap. But of course, he'll have to trundle that Ferrari around. Big slide there through turn 1. As he makes his way around, of course, his teammate Boaks is going to be behind him, also trying to improve. But this may be Rosberg's last shot at getting a competitive lap time in this session. Gavicho has also officially rejoined, as he's on his first out lap of the session. But Rosberg matching his time through the first sector. May run into some traffic later in the lap, specifically with that Haas not too far up the road. You could see him in that shot there. I think touching the wall there is Rosberg, though, so that's probably going to lose him a little bit of time and momentum as he comes through this fast little SS section of the racetrack. Of course, the very tricky braking zone before coming out onto the strip. Manages it nicely, though, and he's up about 1/10 and a half through the first 2 sectors. So how much does Rosberg have left in the tank for this push down the strip at the end of the lap? His teammate Boaks up 0.6 on his lap. So both Ferraris looking to improve on their laps. We got a Mercedes, I believe, coming out as well, just kind of pausing at turn 1. That is Strakasaur. Nico has invalidated his lap, and with only 3 minutes left to go in the session, that's going to be his lap time off the board. So Nico Rosberg now at major risk of going out here in Q2. Here comes his teammate of Boaks, who's managed to keep that lap time, but he's run out of ERS as he comes through the final bit of the lap. Around the final corner into the line. That lap time, though, good enough for 9th, but pushes his teammate down into the bottom 5. Formula Jonah, meanwhile, has invalidated. He still has time and a chance, though, to get an extra lap in. His teammate, a Stryker, though, is on a lap. Again, much the same if he makes a similar mistake, but he's going to need a lot of time to improve from that P14. Gavicho as well on a push lap, but he may have to deal with some traffic. Speedy Gunner also opting to go out on a set of mediums. Stryker, meanwhile, up a second. So Stryker looking very, very quick, but how much ERS did he burn through the first part of the lap as he's running very low as he gets to the back straight? He's going to pretty much run out. So despite being up a second, could Stryker, how much will Stryker now lose? We'll jump up to, Formula Jonah has invalidated, so no reason to stay on board with him. Here comes Stryker, though, out of the final couple of corners. So how much time will he lose with that ERS? Every driver from 5th down is out and on the lap. Striker able to jump up to 3rd, so didn't lose barely any time there. He'll pick up a 2nd. He'll jump all the way up into P3, so potentially some decent track evolution going. As we got Gabicho now coming to the line. And the Haas's first lap of the session, where will that go? It'll go pole, so 31.5. So this circuit improving quite a bit as Gabicho goes fastest. So that pushes Kendricks and Boakes now down into the drop zone. Speedy, the next driver at risk, he's going to invalidate there. Did that Red Bull get any damage? I believe it did. Yeah, Speedy Gunner now at major risk of going out here in Q2 as he's got wing damage. Viperize and Ollie Jelly, don't believe that there's any chance for them to improve, so they'll all retire, as will Viperize. Striker, of course, will be making his way back around, but anybody still in the pits, their session is over. And again, not too much time now to be able to get that extra lap in. So how much will hustling hurt these drivers? Of course, Speedy Gunner, the one at risk. Kendricks improving by quite a bit on his last lap. He's just starting a push lap. Boakes will be out of the session, so we got at least one Ferrari out of Q1. Rosberg, I think, trying to hustle that Ferrari around, make sure he can get a lap in. And, of course, you got the Kick Sauber of Formula Jonah behind him, who has not improved significantly on that, at least on first look there. He'll come around the final corner to the line. It's not going to be an improvement, so potentially Formula Jonah looking to recharge, but he'll get another chance to improve. Sayal, meanwhile, up a quarter of a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... And the qualifying session is over. Boakes is out. Speedy Gunner will dive into the pits. He's going to be at risk. Strakasaur might as well, as he's only 9th quickest. Kendricks, though, up a 10th through the first 2 sectors. He's now up 4 tenths, so putting a couple of drivers at risk. His teammate of Sayal, meanwhile, coming out of the final corner into the line. Where will Sayal slot into this order? He'll start 15th on the grid for this Vegas Grand Prix. His teammate of Kendricks, though, up 4 tenths early in that lap. Again, burned a lot of ERS early in that lap, so how much will that hurt him compared to his previous lap time? Again, needs a 32.5, so needs 2 tenths over the course of the lap to jump up into safety. And the Season 8 Drivers' Champion comes through the final corner, and Kendricks is through to Q3. That'll drop Speedy Gunner out of the top 10. So now 2 drivers left to go. It's going to be Rosberg and Jonah to cross the line. So Strakasaur and Debo still at risk here of having a Q2 exit of their own. Can Rosberg be one of the Ferraris through? Can Formula Jonah join his teammate of Striker? Here comes Rosberg and Jonah. Last shot here in Q2. Husky goes 2nd quickest. Rosberg to the line. He'll jump up to 3rd. Formula Jonah to the line. I don't believe Jonah improved, so 1 driver goes through, 1 goes out, and Rosberg at the dying stages knocks one of the Mercedes drivers out, but it won't be a double Mercedes exit here. Actually, it will. No. As Strakasaur got knocked. Yeah. Actually, no, Debo improved. Apologies. So it's Strakasaur going out in Q2. But your top 10 is Gabicho, Husky, Rosberg, Ollie, Kendricks, Debo, Dechal, Striker, Viperize, and Yigit. Moving on to the shootout here in Q3, and separated by only 3/4 of a second as well. So should be very, very tight in this one. Of course, a lot of things can happen during 25 laps around Vegas. Can be very much a bit of a crapshoot sometimes, especially if you have some impatient drivers. So to all the drivers listening, I would advise being patient, especially in the early laps as tires come up to temperature. But again, 12 minutes to go in this qualifying session now. So we'll have to see who is the first one out. But both VCARB drivers making it through into... actually, I believe VCARB is the only team with 2 drivers in this Q3 session. So we got a bit of a rainbow field here. Yeah, 1 Ferrari, 1 McLaren, 1 Aston. one Mercedes, one Haas, and one Alpine. So who's the only team without a driver in this session? Am I going nuts? Red Bull? No, Red Bull has one. Haas. Kick Sauber. Who's the only team without a driver in this session? There's a bunch of drivers coming out to start their laps. Williams, thank you. So yeah, Williams the only team without a driver in Q3. Actually, excuse me, I need to take a leak real quick. Alright, I'm back as we start the first flying laps here of Q3. So we'll stay on board with Ollie Jelly as he makes his way through this middle sector of the racetrack. 9 drivers, of course, out on circuit. It's a very comfortable lap here from Ollie as we hit the 10 fastest drivers. Still lots of ERS in the tank here for Ollie as he makes his way now down the strip. As you can see, the Red Bull of Alcoholic behind him. This was the Kick Sauber of Striker making his way. Ollie Jelly through that final chicane and out onto the pit straight here. As in the push to the line, Ollie Jelly will set the bar. There's going to be 4 drivers coming out of that final chicane behind him. It's a 31.9 from Ollie Jelly, so start setting the bar pretty high to start. Alcoholic to the line. He'll go top with a 31.8. So pushes that bar a little bit further. They got the Kick Sauber diving into the pits just ahead of Viperize. Is going to come to the line as a 31.695 from Viperize, who steals provisional pole from Alcoholic here in this first little exchange of Q3. Here comes the Mercedes of Debo, who's on an out lap. So we'll jump back to DeChal in the V-car. Of course, his only one with a teammate in this session. Going to come around the final corner into the line. Of course, going to keep it tight. It's a 32-0. So slots in just behind his teammate of Ollie here early in the session. Of course, sadly, there is no way to check, how old these tires are because, EA makes games that, have glaring flaws, and it's great. But here comes Nico Rosberg now in the Ferrari through the end of the lap. Doesn't look like, at least as of right now, it's going to be as competitive a lap as some of the others, but it's a 32-1, so certainly in the running there. Only half a second adrift of provisional pole. Kendrick's 32.6 just behind him as well, but keep an eye on him to now send a push lap and potentially pick up some extra time, or take a second out lap and potentially try to get some clearer air. Yiget's going to dive into the pits, so I believe that leaves Debo as the only one on a competitive lap as it stands, under 7 minutes to go in the session. 106 through that first pit of the lap, and Debo, I think, is going to try to run a lap where he doesn't have enough fuel to get through a second lap, so Debo is going to have to dive into the pit, so that lap time not going to be very competitive either. And so at the first exchange, it's Viperize from Alcoholic, Ollie Jelly, DeChal, Nico, and Kendricks, of course, the only ones with lap times on the board. So let's see what everybody else can do here. As Debo, of course, will have to dive into pits. Gabby Joe, Striker, Yigit, all potentially with the chance to get a better lap time up there as this continues. And I don't know why the chat is messing with me right now, but it is. But, yeah, we'll jump on board with Kendricks has actually invalidated, and he is out of fuel as he makes his way back around. So everybody, of course, going to be trundling those cars back around to get an extra lap in. Let's want to see who all can improve in this top 10 shootout. This track going to get rather quiet here. Of course, we'll be in Vegas in real life in just under a week's time now. Yes, we will. Starting Sunday at... Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, I have the 24-hour race. Crap. Well, I will not be enjoying the IRL Vegas Grand Prix. As Striker going to be first out onto the track, just trying to get some clean air for an lap in this Sauber. Again, I think going to try to take advantage of clean air, as will Yigit Baboli in the McLaren. Again, just trying to get, a little bit of... Actually, no, Yigit's going to go with a low fuel. Striker put enough in there for 2 laps. Here comes as well the Haas of Gabicho, who could be very interesting. He's got 5 laps of fuel in that car, so he's got enough time to get probably 2 push laps in there. As again, with a 1.5 minute lap, you can really... if you're out on track by this point, you can get probably about 4 laps in total. And that, of course, would include any warm-up and cool-down laps. So those would count to that. We'll jump on board with Striker here to see what happens as the lone kick Sauber in Q3 begins his lap here at Vegas. Of course, got the blast down into turn 1. Going to be really interesting as well for those starting at the back as you have that curved start line. But Striker making his way through 1 and 2. Fairly comfortable there. A little bit wide, though, through turn 2. You got to try to keep it a little bit tighter there to get the fastest line there, but still comfortable. Of course, DRS going to be wide open and down into turn number 3. And then got 26-3 through sector 1. And of course, you got turn 4 and then hard, difficult braking there, 5 through 6. And then into turn number 7 here, the exit of the sphere section. Does a nice job to keep it out of the wall, though, as he goes blasting down into 8, 9, and 10. You got the right-hander at 8. Got to miss the apex here, a little bit of turn 9, and there's a little bump right there where you can see the color change. That might unsettle some cars, and then you just got the difficult braking zone of 10. Striker, though, good job to keep it out of the wall. 56-2 through the first 2 sectors as drivers start to make their way out on track for the final push laps of this session. But Striker making his way down the pit straight here, or down the strip here, not the pit straight. Of course, into that hard braking zone at the end. Again, does a good job to keep it out of the wall, and it's a good exit there from Striker. The Haas of Gabicho also having to deal with a little bit of traffic. But here comes Striker around the final corner and to the line. The kick Sauber goes 6th quickest to the 32.3, but of course, still a little bit of time. Still enough time to do a recharge lap and get another push in. So Striker's day may not be over. Kendricks pushed down into 7th. You get 56-1 through 2 sectors, but it's Gabicho out ahead of him, who, of course, does have that little bit of extra fuel in the tank, where he should have enough time to get a final lap in. All 10 drivers going to be out on track now with 1:45 left to go. So Kendricks, and I believe that's either... I believe it's Ollie Jelly or Dachal, are going to have to hustle that car around. Gabicho to the line, and he'll take provisional pole. It's a 31.3 from the Haas, who with 1.5 minutes left to go, still has a chance at getting an extra lap in. Somebody who won't, though, is the McLaren of Yigit, who will come to the line only 8th quickest, so that will probably be the end of the McLaren's qualifying session. Got Debo on an out lap. Yeah, again, actually, it's Alcoholic and Kendricks who are still going to, or definitely going to have to hustle those cars around, especially if they don't want to use up too much ERS on this out lap. It's going to be very tight from them, and they'll have some traffic behind them they may have to contend with. Viperize, though, up a 10th through Sector 1. Currently provisionally P2. DeChal through a push lap. He put in a personal best through Sector 1. A bit of a lockup there, and a little bit wide, but doing a nice job to attack that little second part of the chicane. Ollie Jelly should get a lap in, as should Alcoholic, now looking at it. So every driver should get an extra lap in. Viperize across the second sector timing marker. He's got 3/10. So currently is about tied with Gabby Cho as it stands. Pushing now down the strip. Provisional pole sitter very comfortably in Q1. Came 9th in Q2. Under 20 seconds, though, now left to go. He's got a Haas ahead of him. That should be the only possible traffic. Is going to hit the curb a little bit there on the inside, but it's a good exit from the Aston Martin. 7, 6, 5 seconds left to go. So Gabby Cho should get an extra lap in. Viperize won't. So the final lap time of Q3 for Viperize is enough for provisional pole by about 2/10. It's a 31-1 for Viperize. Can anybody hold a candle to that? Rosberg to the line. He'll start 6th. Or he will start no better than 6th. T'Chall will improve, but not enough to jump up from 4th. Yiget, of course, is out of fuel. He will not improve. We'll jump to the Kick Sauber of Stryker through 2 sectors. He's up a quarter of a second, so he's going to be looking to pick up some time. We'll jump to the Mercedes of Debo, see what he's at through 2 sectors. That's a 26-1. It's a 55-9 through Sector 2. So pretty comfortable, but 2/10 adrift of Ollie Jelly, who has improved. So we'll jump back up to Stryker, who is at a 55-8 through 2 sectors. Big slide there in that final little chicane, but the Kick Sauber able to get on the power comfortably enough. Of course, that red light flashing on the back, so he is out of ERS. Stryker, round the final corner, to the line. Stryker jumps up into 6th place. Here comes the Mercedes of Debo now, and it's Ollie Jelly behind him. Debo, can he do anything about pole? He'll jump up into 5th. Ollie Jelly up 2/10. He comes to line. He'll start no better than 3rd. Alcoholic and Kendricks, likely 2 of the last drivers to put anything on the board. Kendrick goes 4th. Alcoholic goes 3rd. Can Gabby Cho do anything about that time? He has improved through 2 sectors. Can he find any magic in the final sector of the racetrack? Here comes Gabby Cho out the final corner to the line. Gabby Cho cannot improve, so it'll be Viperize from Gabby Cho. Alcoholic in 3rd. Ollie Jelly, Kendricks, T'Chall, Debo, Stryker, Rosberg, and Yiget, your top 10 for the race here in Vegas. We'll stay on board with Viperize as he comes across the line. Your pole sitter for Aston Martin in the field of 20. Yeah, you get just not able to get a your control lap time in there in Q3, but at least we'll still start in the points. But the rest of the field separated by only a second. But it's a Viperize on pole. So yeah, Verstappen should not be in here, so apologies Ozan, but he didn't leave for whatever reason. So we still will have 20 drivers, but I don't believe that Verstappen will be counted in this one. As I take a look at the drivers, yeah, Verstappen here will not be counted towards the race. Though, we will get set up here for the formation lap, and Viperize will lead us away. I'll always jump on board with him, see if he is here. Okay, it doesn't sound like he is here, so... as we are migrating host, that's not good, as Stratting has disconnected. So that's not great. So let's... Can I figure out who is host? I cannot figure out who is host. We did just lose Stratting. I guess not. Or I guess we're red flagging it here. Alright. So we will be red flagging it here, as we had a host disconnect. Alright, but we'll pause the stream real quick and we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry for that delay. Had to get everything set up on the back end here. First down Steelers on 4th and 1. Let's go. But of course, we'll have some time for everybody to get setups going. Again, will be some time before we get going. So again, just another brief pause here, and then we'll get underway. Yeah. For anybody who is in chat here, I went ahead and put a message in chat. Please react to that once you have strategy and setup ready. All right, why am I getting? I'm getting all the messages, pushed back through in chat. Give an extra minute. So that way everybody is set. Again, just waiting to hear that countdown. Should be before too much longer. And there we go. Now we're set to get back underway. And once again, we're out on a formation lap. Viperize gonna be leading us away here. Of course, 25 laps coming. So plenty of racing action going to occur here in the season 8 finale here at Vegas. So again, just seeing a couple of drivers make their way around. I don't know why M. Requiem is already at the back of the field, but he is. Viperize is disconnected. Crap. Viperize is disconnected. Alcoholic and Ollie have come together. So potentially something due to that, potentially something because of that. But yeah, Viperize getting unlucky. I think it was just some checking up there. But yeah, Viperize is disconnected. So again, more internet problems. But a good chunk of the pack pulling now out onto the strip. Get in, get in, get in. Down to the 1. But of course, there is your look at predicted race strategies from AWS. Medium to hard through most of the grid. I forgot to turn on tire, so we'll do that. But yeah, mediums through most of the grid. Seau and M. Requiem going for soft, so we'll see how that goes. Again, I'll try to get Viperize back in here. But again, hopefully we do get him back in fairly early in this race. I still cannot invite him. Internet resuscitates. But we are all getting up to the line. Rosberg as well has disconnected. So there's 2 DCs. Kendricks invalidated his parking, so did Boakes. As I can also try to invite Rosberg back. If I have him. Yeah, so I can at least send Rosberg an invite. Hopefully he can rejoin. But it does seem that everybody is lined up on the grid. We'll jump up to the Haas. So it'll be the Haas of Gabicho leading us away here in Las Vegas. As the lone non-AI driver, he'll go outside. Formula Jonah has disconnected as well, so loads of connection problems. Alcoholic Husky looking to go inside of turn 1. Here comes Ollie Jelly, though, looking to get that move done. He'll sweep around the outside, and I believe he'll get it done. I'll try to invite Formula Jonah back quickly. There he is. I'll pull that up. Come on, get it back going. All right, so there's Formula Jonah invited back, but it's Viper Eyes, I think, leading away is here for lap number 1. So it seems to be all okay for Viper Eyes. Oli Jelly in second, Alcoholic in third. Gabicho got off the line pretty poorly. He's in fourth. Kendricks in fifth. Yiggett and Speedy then ran it out. Striker going up into ninth. He had to go off track. A little bit of contact there. Yellow flag's behind. That's for the Williams of M Requiem with a mistake back there. But it's, again, Viper Eyes leading comfortably here on lap 1. And I think going to be looking to try and get a breakaway as quick as possible. 7/10 is the gap behind. So we'll see how much Viper Eyes attacks here. But purple through sector 1. Gabicho right on the back of Alcoholic. So could we see a dive here at the end of the strip? Gabicho, though, that red light flashing on the back, but is still closing to within a tenth. He's going to take a look to the inside as they come to the end. Going to be right on the gearbox, though. Is going to lift off, though, so Alcoholic holds on to third as it stands. But Ollie and Viper Eyes looking to make a breakaway as they make their way through the chicane for the first time. That's a couple of cars in the scramble there looking for positions. But seemingly everybody through relatively undamaged, and it's Viper Eyes leading us around to start to the end. Lap 1. DRS, of course, now going to be activated. So Ollie and Viper Eyes now, I think, looking to try and make an early getaway here on lap number 2. As DRS going to be active on the V-carb. It's not going to be, as Rosberg out of the race. As I believe he may have tried to retake control of his car and has disconnected. Formula Jonah as well, I think the same issue, trying to take back control of his car. So that's 2 drivers out of the session here in the early stages. Sadly, just due to how the game operates. Formula Jonah is back, but sadly it will just be as a spectator. Zhao receives a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. But already it's going to become a 2-horse race up here at the front. Alcoholic Husky going to be trying to lead this chase pack at this point, is the best way to explain it. But again, the pack's going to start to stretch out here a little bit. As here, of course, comes the Haas on Alcoholic. He'll look to the inside. DRS going to open on the Haas. We'll jump up to the battle for the lead as Ollie Jelly closing as we take another look at predicted strategies. Ollie Jelly looking outside here at the end of the strip. He's going to try to sweep around the outside of Viper Eyes. He'll get it done. So end of lap number 2, it's going to be Ollie Jelly retaking the lead. Gabicho moves up into third, and there's only 1.1 adrift now of the 2 leaders. And of course, there's a chase pack of 5 trying to go after Ollie Jelly and Viper Eyes. Ollie Jelly goes tight at the end of that lap, but will come back to the racing line. Of course, as they make their way through turn 2, a little bit wide there from Ollie Jelly. Is that going to give Viper Eyes an opportunity? No, it seems that Ollie Jelly, good exit there, but he's going to go down the inside. If that is Nico Rosberg, you are out. Yeah, Nico Rosberg, if that is you, you are out. So there's no reason to re-invite you. You are out of the race. Yes, you are out of the race. But Viper Eyes retaking the lead there with assistance of DRS. Gabicho, though, closing up to within a second. The Viperize continuing to make his way, and we'll probably see another lead change here once again down the strip. As we pull out once again, it's 1.3 back from Ollie Jelly to Gabby Cho as Viperize once again leads this one. But the ERS going to open up, and Ollie Jelly already running a bit low on ERS. He's going to deploy some attack. He's going to go to the inside here. I think Viperize just going to cede position as that V-Carb going to come back across to the racing line and comfortably take that lead. Alcoholic looking to maybe make a move to the inside of Gabi Cho, but not having enough space to get it done. And so that might be the breakaway that Ollie and Viperize were looking for here. As they look to start lap 3, I believe that's Debo in the wall at the chicane at the end of the lap, so the Mercedes in trouble. His teammate Strakasaur already having to pit at this point. Here comes the Williams of Zhao down the inside, and he'll get that move done. Actually going to cut the corner there and slide very close there to an incident, but Zhao up into 11th. To the front, though, it's Ollie Jelly now with a lead of almost over a second. Viperize is just not comfortable through turn 2, and I think just lost loads of time there. Does still have a lot of ERS, so he can go into a bit of an attacking posture, and we saw how he can potentially try and open up that gap a little bit. Yellow flag. That's Zhao out of the race, and that's going to bring out a safety car. That's a big crash there. It's Zhao going straight into the wall. And we already got our first safety car of the session. It'll, of course, allow Strakasaur to close up to the field. But safety car here on lap number 4. From the field as this continues. Of course, it gives anybody who went a little bit lower on fuel also gives the pack a chance to tighten back up, and of course we'll have a 6 or 7. Does seem that almost everybody will stay out. Yeah, it seems that everybody will stay out here. Kendrick's actually going to take a dive in, as will the Kick Sauber of Stryker. No, Stryker will actually stay out. The McLaren of Ozan will also opt to dive in. Bit of a late decision there. Stratting will dive in. Debo will dive in, as will Seau. Rostamol will stay out. M. Requiem will come in, as will Bokes. So a number of cars taking the advantage of the free pit stop. Swap onto a set of hard compound tires. Of course, Ollie Jelly will control the field under safety car. Yiget in 5th. Speedy 6th, followed by Dechal. Actually, a bit of an illegal overtake there, I believe, between Yiget and Speedy. So Speedy going to jump back up into 5th. And I think Speedy trying to give that position back at that point. And that's what that exchange was there. So a bit of confusion, but seemingly all good. As now we'll just wait for the field to group up behind the safety car, and then we'll get back underway. Of course, we'll probably see one more lap under safety car, so we'll get back underway at lap number 7. So again, just waiting for, it'll be Strakasaur bringing up the tail end of the field that we'll be waiting on. Speedy Gunner, 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flags, as having issues with Yiget, and Speedy going to dive into the pits and serve this, I believe. So we'll see if he gets held in the pits. he will get held, so Speedy going to take the opportunity to serve that penalty. Not sure exactly what happened there, but also going to need a front wing change, so Speedy having to get that change as well. So it'll now be Speedy that we'll be waiting on to confirm that the field is all grouped up and ready. So we'll jump back to the Red Bull as he gets set. Again, the pack making their way through Vegas Sphere. But yeah, should get back underway this lap. Again, just would ask Speedy, make sure you're hustling to the field. But pack is all grouped up. So, of course, we're just waiting for that safety car in message. Which, if all of you are in chat, just keep in mind that that safety car in message is going to come pretty late. It probably won't come until after the chicane. So, definitely be ready to check up, as well as all the other drivers in here. Just make sure they're not tailgating one another. As we should be getting the safety car in message very shortly, if not now. Are we not getting it? Yep, no, safety car is in this lap. So again, late safety car in message, which means that Ollie not going to get a chance to go out of that chicane, but again, it would be a long run back into turn 1. Where is that safety car going? What the hell is the safety car doing? Why is the safety car still out on track? What the hell is going on? Be careful out ahead, the safety car is still on track. The safety car is still on track, be careful. I don't know what's going on. We're going to go on board with Ollie here, see what the hell is going on. Just be careful as you come up to the safety car here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but the safety car is still out on track for some reason. Is the safety car in this lap or not? Are we still... What is going on? What the hell is happening? Are we still under safety car? What the fuck happened, EA? Alright, so we'll see what happens here. Why did the safety car stay out? I guess the SC is still out. He didn't break. He's getting SC limited. Like his engine just tops out. DeChal 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. Yeah, Viperize, his engine just gets limited on, you know, if he gets too close to the safety car. That's not something that he can control. Also, Yigit's being an idiot behind as well. So that pack behind is going to be coming very quickly. So I think now we should get back underway, hopefully. Okay, so now the safety car is in. What the hell, EA? But that's not something I've ever seen before. And now we'll get back racing. As Yigit has retired. So we'll get back racing here. And Requiem 10 seconds speeding in the pits. But we will get back underway here on lap number 8. But it is going to be Ollie Jelly leading it. But yeah, EA makes great games, but it's going to be Ollie Jelly looking to pull away from Viperize now as they look to pull away from the likes of Gabicho and Alcoholic. Dachal back in 5th, 2.1 seconds back, also has a 10-second because people didn't want to chill. But it is Ollie in the lead. Here comes Viperize, I think going to be looking for a move into turn 1. DRS, of course, now going to be enabled. Viperize, though, not going to look to wait for it, as he'll slide into the inside at turn 1. Ollie, though, looking for the switchback, as Viperize now going to have the inside. Gets turned in on a little bit as Ollie just looks to go in a little bit too sharp. He's going to look for the switchback, though. And Ollie has DRS. Viperize, though, going to go very defensive as they blast down into turn 3. There was a Haas down the inside. That was a bold move from Gabicho, and that wasn't going to be there at all. But it's 4 cars here at the front. Here on lap number 9. Again, looking back a little bit, Dachal and Stryker looking to make a bit of a breakaway now from the hard tire runners. Rustammel's fallen back to P10. Alcoholic actually up ahead of Gabicho, who got overtaken there. So it does mean Gabicho going to have DRS advantage here. Alcoholic might have, slightly... Actually, no, that was with DRS. Sorry, I was looking down, watching the... So, that was unpleasant. Okay, so I might have just seen somebody break their ankle in Steelers Commanders. That's not fun. But Ollie Jelly and Viperize now looking to make a bit of a breakaway. 1.3 seconds the gap back. Viperize, of course, should have enough pace to still get a solid result despite that penalty. And, of course, those hards are going to be pretty worn out towards the end of the race. I was trying to go 20 laps on them. Going to be quite the challenge. Alcoholic, though, has done a nice job. Actually, Ollie does have a 3-second time penalty now. He's going to tap the wall as well. But looking to start to make a breakaway here from Viperize. So here comes Alcoholic actually looking to attack even before the strip. Lock up there, contact as well between Alcoholic and Viperize, but Alcoholic gets the move done, and they stay out of the wall. Stryker going incredibly defensive. That's Gabicho with big damage, and that's going to bring out a virtual safety car as Gabicho's front wing is gone. I'm not sure what happened there with him and Viperize, but Gabicho has no front wing, and that's going to bring out a virtual safety car here, so I'd imagine we're going to see a lot of drivers dive into the pit lane here. As on lap number 10, we get a VSC. Ollie Jelly going to hustle it into the pits. Try and get a semi-free pit stop. So he'll get it slowed down. Alcoholic comes in. Viperize, of course, will get a chance to serve that time penalty as he has wing damage as well. Kendricks will take the lead. So Viperize at least going to get to serve that time penalty and get a front wing change before we go back green. But I don't know what happened there. It was a gamble of a move there from Alcoholic, and then I don't know what happened with Gabicho and Viperize. But Kendricks now leads from Debo, Stratting in 3rd, followed by Boakes, Ollie, Sale, Stracco, Alcoholic, Stryker, and Gabicho. as everybody will file back out of the pits now. It's still under VSC here on lap number 11. As Ozan gets a drive-through for speeding under the VSC. So that's probably his race done. As he's back there in 12th, so if he doesn't get another VSC, that is him done. Yeah, Kendricks now leads by a little bit over a second from Debo, Stratting him behind, and then it's a big gap back to Boakes. But yeah, at about the halfway point in what has been a very eventful final race of this season. Ollie Jelly actually finds his way past Boakes as he moves up into P4, so that VSC working out very nicely for him. As now just 3 cars between him and the lead, and he's a 6-lap tire advantage for the remainder of this one. And the closest driver on fresh tires is Alcoholic back in P8. Ozan and Viperize going at it. As they come to start lap number 13, Ozan going to peel off to the left and serve that drive-through penalty. Actually going to be followed by DeChal into the pits. As DeChal may have also gotten a drive-through there, but that is going to... Husky, meanwhile, overtaking Strakasaur with the assistance of DRS. But this three-way battle for the lead is heating up. As again, about 13, or it's going to be 13 to go next time across the line. But Debo, of course, will have DRS assistance here. Stratting, of course, closing up to the back as well. He'll be right on the tail of this field as well, so we'll see how much they decide to work together. As you can see that V-Carb in the background there, looking to close up. And potentially go fight for the win. But, of course, Ollie going to have that 3-second time penalty that he will have to manage as this race continues. But Debo takes the lead here on lap number 12. We'll see how much Kendricks decides to fight it here. As down the pit straight, going to take a peek to the inside, but end up tucking back in here. But DRS going to open up on the Alpine. And again, going to take that peek to the inside, but running a little bit low on ERS, so I think just going to hold back for right now. Great breakup from James Pierre. Speedy Gunner sets a new fast lap of the race as Alcoholic slides up into P6 with DRS advantage. As those fresh tires working very nicely for him, and he can now go chasing after Boakes. Again, still in the lead is Debo Croc. Lap number 13, so still about half a race left to go. And Ollie Jelly still within range to start to close up. And again, Stratting's there in the background as well. But 3-horse race as they look to continue to pull away here from the Mercedes. I was looking down at the Steelers, and it's a first down, Washington. Damn it! It's going to depend where they spot him. But Kendricks retakes the lead here on lap number 13 as they come down the strip. Again, I think Stratting just, very comfortable, just kind of holding back for right now, sticking with this pack. This pack, I think, content to try and run away with this top 3. As Strakasaur, 3-second time penalty for track limit, so that makes his race even more challenging. But again, the pack really spread out here, where now it's really just these 3 at the front is the only battle on track. Oh, that might actually not be a first down. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out here whether the Steelers have beaten the Commanders. We'll see after review, but it's going to be tight. But Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. It sounded like somebody touched a wall in the back. I'm not sure quite who that was. But these three at the front have done a nice job at continuing to keep that gap out around that 5-second mark back to Ollie Jelly. I don't know, maybe it's a setup thing for the V car, but also the hard's not going to be too different. It's also a little bit difficult to bring those tires up to temp. Here comes Kendricks with a half a second advantage here on that number 14. Oh, did they get him? They might have stopped him. It's very close for Steelers. It might come down to about a couple of inches here as Debo has retaken the lead. So we'll start lap number 15. Again, that gap still at about 5.4 seconds, and Kendricks, I think, struggling with battery. Taking a look at battery, it's about half. Actually, no, Kendricks, I think, just shutting down ERS in places. Just comfortable to really just use overtake when needed, but otherwise just kind of having his ERS off for the most part just to allow cars through. And Stratting actually burning a decent bit of ERS to keep in touch. You can see Ollie continuing to close a little bit in the background. That gap now down to 5 seconds. Alcoholic is also now closed up to Boakes. So we'll see if the Red Bull can continue his charge forward. As lap 15 at 25, and Debo now holds the lead by about half a second. There also seems to be a nice little battle brewing for 7th between Seau, Striker, and Strakasaur. Gabicho also there in the background. Alcoholic now getting Boakes, actually even before they get to that kind of backside of the track. Actually, Boakes has wing damage here, so was that potentially an opportunistic move from Alcoholic that put Boakes in the wall? But as we come down the back straight here, it looks like Stratting and Kendrick's going to be side-by-side briefly. Stratting, though, going to back out of it, though. Going to think better of it, so Debo will lead us across the line once again. As it wasn't a first down, Commanders, so Steelers have the ball and can potentially try and start burning the clock. So that's good. So Steelers hopefully going to improve here. But we'll start lap 16, and it's Debo now with, again, a bit of an advantage here. So does Debo have something going where he's been able to keep a little bit more life in those tires just with setup? Ollie Jelly is closing, though. That gap now down to 4.3 seconds as the V-Carb continuing to attack here. The only concern is going to be that 3-second time penalty that he has. And trying to bridge that gap up ahead. Alcoholic, I think, at this point would be comfortable in P5 if he could manage to hold on to it. Of course, a lot of things still could happen. Seau, of course, leading this pack through. As they look to battle, that's a Haas around and in the wall. Is that going to bring out a virtual safety car or potentially something more? It's going to push Viperize at least back up into the points. That was Gabicho in the wall. He's going to be disqualified from the session for driving the wrong way. Of course, not his fault. Hopefully that car will remain ghosted, though, as it is right in the middle of the track. It is ghosted, but Gabicho out of the race, as he was not able to recover that Haas without going the wrong way. Didn't think to multi-point turn it, but Debo coming down the strip once again is going to again hold on to that lead. So I think now perhaps it's Kendrick's content to just kind of sit back. I think Stratting doing much the same. As lap number 16 here, Striker finally gets ahead of Seau as they come down the back straight. And of course, they have Boakes up ahead that they're trying to chase down. But no virtual safety car here, which means we'll keep racing. It's still going to be the three at the front, led by Strakasaur. Here comes Kendricks, though, with DRS. No ERS, though, as you can see that light flashing. He's actually going to go into the wall, though. Big mistake there from Debo, as he's going to go into the wall. Did he lose an end plate there? Looking at that Mercedes, yes, he lost that left front wing end plate, so a big loss there from Debo. And if we go back to Ollie, he's on a charge here, as that gap going to continue to come down. And now with Debo having that damage, makes it a 2-horse race, but he might be replaced by the V-Carb of Ollie Jelly. Yellow flag in Sector 3, that's for Williams, that's for M. Requiem. But it's Kendricks here on lap 17, now with a chance to break away. Ollie Jelly, that gap now down to 2 seconds. But it's Kendricks now with the lead. It'll be Kendricks versus Stratting, with, of course, Debo ready in the wings should something happen. Here comes Stratting around the outside as they come down the strip. So Stratting, finally, after holding at the back of this pack for most of that stint, will retake the lead here. On lap 17, Kendricks looking to find a way round, but he won't do anything with it. Yes! Let's go! Steelers win! Yes! They got him with the hard count. Let's go! But yeah, lap 18, Stratting now with the lead. Debo still keeping pace at least, despite that damage. But Ollie Jelly continues to close up. And so they come out onto the pit straight. So will we see another lead change here on lap number 19 as Ollie Jelly continues to close up. That gap now down to 2 seconds. And again, really the only battle on track. Stryker and Sayao should be having a decent battle here. Viperize actually has pitted, so he'll drop down to 13th now. As perhaps he didn't think he could, as perhaps he got a little bit of damage as well. Lap 18, Kendricks has retaken the lead as we come down the pit straight. It's virtual safety car. Who was that for? That was for Stratting, who was in the wall. I looked away to answer something in something else, and Stratting in the wall. So he is now basically out of this race. What happened to him? So Stratting's race is now over. As we actually do have a full safety car here, so that's going to continue to make it interesting. Everybody going to get a free pit stop. What happened there? Viperize 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, so that's his race done. He's going to retire. But that's going to allow Ollie to close up. It will also allow Kendricks, and it's a big win for Debo because he can get that front wing fixed. But Ollie in third, Alcoholic in fourth now. So we'll have to see where Strachosaur comes out. As Speedy Gunner on a fresh set, Boak's now on a fresh set as well. Ozan potentially brought back into the race. But he'll dive into the pits. Which I think he should still be okay. M. Requiem could go a lap down here if somebody decides to stay out. But Kendrick, I doubt anybody will. Kendricks will come in, Debo will come in, Ollie will come in, and is coming in, I think, absolutely the right call here. I think it'd be quite foolish to stay out at this point. So Alcoholic diving in. Yeah, Stratting going to have to break a little bit earlier there, but they get it stopped. So Kendrick's going to take the lead here. Yeah, everybody going to dive in, and should be a couple lap sprint to the finish. So again, if anybody who is in this race is in chat, I will try to communicate if we do get the safety car bug again. If we do, just be careful on the restart. But yeah, everybody swapping to soft, except for Rostamol, surprisingly. Rostamol opting to stay out. Not going to pick up too many places, though. He's only going to pick up one, so definitely the wrong decision there. But it's Kendricks from Ollie, who's actually opted for a set of mediums. Debo, Alcoholic, Stratting. who didn't get a front wing change. So for whatever reason, I don't know why Strading's front wing didn't get changed, but he is still kind of extra screwed as it stands. Unless he did get that front wing changed? No, he's down in first gear and that car is barely turning. So Strading also gonna fall victim to excellent EA game decisions. But yeah, it's certainly been an interesting one, as we should get hopefully 2 or 3 laps of racing. Yeah, just waiting for that safety car in message, which will come rather late, as M. Requiem diving into the pits again and having to get his front wing changed. We'll likely see Strading have to do the same. Sadly, this is not a racetrack where you can afford to go that low on your front wing. Yeah, that Aston just not doing anything. I think he'll dive into the pits here now that he does have that set. So it does mean Strading will have to drop back to the back, drop to the back of this safety car pack. But it will get that car stopped, and will come out likely in P12. M. Requiem gets a 3-second time. But still got some time here. We are still under safety cars. Ozan dives into the pits again. So we'll see if we get back underway on this lap, as everybody up to P12 is still out. Strading actually in P11, so we got out ahead of DeChal. But it's really going to, come down to a battle between the top 5 at this point in the race, as Rostamol should be a very big plug in there, holding up a whole bunch of cars behind. So we'll see if we get back underway this lap. Kendricks, I would just opt to be careful. I will let you know if the safety car does correctly come in or not. Of course, it does come out of the chicane, so we'll either get 3 or 4 laps of racing before we get back underway here in Las Vegas. So what's the call here? We'll jump on board with Kendricks, see what happens. And it does appear that the safety car will be out for another lap. So we'll get back underway at start of lap number 23. Yeah, just waiting on Ozan and M. Requiem to finally make their way around circuit. Yeah, it'll be 3 laps to go, so 2 DRS chances. So I think that would mean advantage Kendricks here, despite Ollie's time penalty. Because I think you definitely want to be the lead car around here at that point. Or, the lead car at the start of 3 to go, just considering DRS chicken. But again, lap number 22 here. And we'll have to see what happens. But safety car will be in this lap, as we look at the pack come through the sphere section. And again, should get back underway. I guess a brief look at potential driver of the day. I think Rostamol, as it stands, would be. But I think it would have to go to Stratting or Sayao, depending on how this race continues to pan out, just based on the position changes. But of course, still a good chunk of racing left to go. 3 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a long track. So plenty of chances for lots to happen. So will it be Kendricks? Will it be Ollie? Will it be Debo, Alcoholic, or Striker? Could it be somebody further, even further down the order in the scramble to the finish line here? As the pack is all grouped together. Safety car is in this lap, so much better safety car in message this time. As we get it before we get to the chicane, so I don't understand why EA couldn't do that all the time, but c'est la vie. Stay on board with Kendricks, who I'll try and let you know, and safety car is successfully in this lap. So we are all ready to go racing. 3 laps left to go in Vegas. And still a number of drivers in this race. When will Kendricks look to floor that throttle? He'll take off, and we'll get back racing here in Vegas. And it's a clean getaway from most of the field here as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. And again, a lot of people looking to jump up. Strakasaur getting ahead of Sayao. And again, Rostamol already being a plug in the rest of the order. Stratting up into 10th. Ozan's in there. But it's a top 5 breakaway here. Speedy Gunner up into 7th. He's had a great restart. Bit of a slide there from Rostamol, and that's going to allow Speedy Gunner ahead of him, as will Sayao. So yeah, Rostamol now going to be just dropping like a stone. But it will release the likes of Speedy Gunner and Sayao to go off and try to potentially climb up the order. But yeah, Rostamol dropping down the order, but it's down to these 5 with 3 to go. As they come down the strip for the third to last time. A little bit of a bobble there from Dichal. I think Alcoholic looking for a move down the inside. That may have ruined his chances at a win, as he was potentially looking at a move on Debo. But now they're a second and a half back. Here comes Ollie Jelly to the inside of Kendricks, who, of course, Ollie does have that 3-second time penalty that he has to deal with. Striker and Alcoholic side by side, as here comes Striker down the back straight. Debo looking for a move as well. Alcoholic going to defend it. Here comes Debo down the inside of Alcoholic. And I think the Dutchman will defend. Lap 23, and it's a 2-car race between Ollie Jelly and Kendricks as we start the penultimate lap of this race. DRS, of course, now going to be enabled. And I think that move from Alcoholic, not very smart, as it completely ruined any chances of a win. As that DRS has now been broken. As you know, you lose a lot of time trying to make a move there at turn number 10. And of course, Kendricks now going to have the DRS advantage here. Going to hold back, though, as of right now. As Ollie actually able to get moved on the back straight without the assistance of DRS. So we'll see if that can manage to make his race. As again, a little bit of potential chicken going on there. Striker, meanwhile, is up into 3rd. Is still going to have to defend from Alcoholic and Debo. Stratting receives a 3-second time penalty. So that probably knocks him out of the points. Is potentially having to take an evasive maneuver for the battle for the lead. Only one more time, blasting down the strip now to go. And so we see a little bit of positional chicken here. Ollie Jelly, I think, just going to look to keep pushing here, try and maximize his points. As cars behind also charging, but will stay with the leader. Kendricks, I think, looking to hold station. Alcoholic up into 3rd, but Debo going to go down the outside. Husky going to be later on the brakes, though. Did he go deep? He will go deep. He'll go into the wall. Striker as well, I think, got some damage out of it. Striker as well getting some damage out of that. Alcoholic going much too deep as Debo slides up into 3rd. And that's going to now allow Ollie and Kendricks to try and run away at the front. Ollie, of course, only, I believe, 3 seconds. Yeah, only 3 seconds of penalties. So Ollie, at this point, racing for P2. Though I think both are going to want the honor of crossing that line first. For start of the final lap, DRS open for Alcoholic and for Striker. There's also Strakasaur, Speedy, Sayao, Ozan, Dichal, and Stratting in a train behind. Good, making our way through the early part of Sector 2 now. It's a quarter of a second behind Kendricks, or Ollie Jelly a quarter of a second ahead. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That's for M. Requiem in the wall, so that's his race over. Not sure what he was looking for there, but his front wing is gone. So any chance of points that he had is now officially done. Of course, coming through the back end of Sector 2 here. Very tight to the wall there for Ollie. That will likely do it. Striker and Alcoholic continuing to battle, as there goes a Mercedes very deep. That's Strakasaur, who had a Verstappen moment. He is gone. So he's now down into 11th. Big lock up there from Mercedes looking for a move. Kendricks will retake the lead here. He'll sweep around the outside. Ollie, I think, going to jink for a quick move to the inside. Going to be all over the back of Kendricks, though. But he'll come out of the final chicane, and he's been the champion this season. He will be the overall champion. Striker receives a 3-second time penalty there for track limits. But it's Kendricks winning in Vegas and is your driver's champion for Group 2. Ollie Jelly will come across the line in second. It'll be Devo rounding off the podium, followed by Alcoholic and Striker. Seau will then be in third, followed by Speedy, Ozan, Striker, Dechal, Stratting, Strakasaur, Boats, and Rostamole. Of course, that will do it for Season 8. Definitely be sure to stay tuned for Season 9, which we'll be looking to get going back quickly. Well, certainly was a very, very interesting race. Stratting receives Driver of the Day. And of course, as we take a look at the podium, it's Kendricks, Fast Lap Driver of the Day, or Fast Lap Race Win, Max Points. Followed by Ollie, Debo, Alcoholic, Seau, Speedy, Ozan, Striker, Dechal, and Stratting are your top 10. But again, that'll do it for Season 8. Of course, congrats to Kendricks on the Drivers' Championship victory, as well as the Constructors' Championship for Alpine. So I believe that was him and Seau locking that up as well. So, of course, congrats on both of those. And we will see you next season for more LSR League racing action. Thanks for sticking with us even through some of those technical issues and a very eventful Vegas Grand Prix. And we'll see you next time.